Hello rainbows, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm doing a first impression and a honest review of the new Australis Matchmaker Foundation Adjusting Drops.
That was epic.
I saw these in Priceline the other day and I just had to pick them up because I knew you guys would want a review and want my honest opinion on the product and see if it's worth the hype and, you know, if it's worth the money. So basically, if you guys don't know what these are, they are adjusting drops for your foundation. So if you have a foundation that is slightly too light, you can add in a few drops of the Darkening Matchmaker to kind of make the perfect foundation color for you. Or if you have a foundation that's slightly too dark, you can add some of the lightening drops in it to make the foundation lighter, so it is the perfect match for you. So these retailed for $20 each, and I must be honest, the lightening drops were a lot more popular. This was actually the second last one that I picked up compared to the darkening drops. I purchased both, you know, if one oxidizes or if you get Flashback with another one, and just kind of see what they're like.
And my hair is just everywhere, but so well, I'm just rolling with it.
So the packaging is basically like this. You get a glass jar. It says Australis Matchmaker Shade Adjusting Drops. This one obviously is the darkening drops. These both are vegan and of course they are cruelty free. I'll read the back little blurb for you guys. It says, transform a nearly right foundation into Mr. Right to create your perfect foundation match. Simply add as many drops as required to your foundation to alter the shade. Mix well and then apply it to your face or decolletage as normal. So this is also made in Thailand, and yeah, there are just two colors in the range, the darkening and the lightening. The product itself, I was surprised, is actually quite thick. It comes with this screw top, so you need to unscrew it and take out the dropper, and it is like a glass eye dropper. So as I said, yeah, the product is very thick, so I didn't know what else to expect. I didn't know if it was going to be quite liquidy and it was going to really water down your foundation, but it is a very thick consistency, and it does, you know, make your foundation quite thick. The one thing I don't really like is when you pull it out, obviously there's, you know, product all around the sides of the applicator. So I haven't even pressed the dropper and I've already got one drop. So it can be a bit hard to get a clear, concise, you know, one exact drop, because all the product around the sides of the dropper is intermixed with what comes out of the dropper as well. So you can end up with a lot more than what you were expecting. As well, I find that, you know, all around the screw top it gets really quite messy. So when you're screwing it back on, you get extra product kind of leaking down the sides and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal, but, you know, just letting you guys know it can be a bit of a messy product. As well with the darkening one, exactly the same. The texture is very thick. I still feel it's, you know, the same thickness as what the other product is, maybe slightly thinner, you know, if I'm being extremely picky, but it's pretty much the same. As well, these are 18 mils. So we'll get right into the application of it. I did actually half a face with a high-end product and then half a face with a kind of low-end or like a Australis product that you can get from Priceline or a drugstore, to see if it did vary with the consistency and with the performance of the product. Okay, so first things first, I want to test this out just on its own, just on a little part of my face, to see if you can wear it on its own for whatever reason you may want to. Kind of looks like sunblock. And I reckon, I don't know, I reckon if you had to, you could probably just wear this on its own. I feel that it does have quite a kind of powdery finish to it in a way. I feel like it kind of emphasizes your pores on its own. We'll see what it's like with a flash as well. It doesn't seem to give that much of a kind of white cast, judging by those photos. So the foundations I'm going to use are the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This is my tan foundation, and it's in the shade light beige. So I'll give you guys a little look, a fair bit darker than my natural moonbeam skin. And the other one we're going to use is the Australis O2 Glow foundation. This is in Natural Fawn, I think. I don't know, the name of it was on the outside of the packaging, which you throw away. So and that's the color there. So yeah, quite a fair bit tanner. Too Faced, and I think I'll do like 2 pumps. It's so thick as well, so I'm going to get some in my dropper. 1 dropper, 2 dropper, 3 dropper full. Brush, mix this all together. This might still be too dark. Oh, I think it's too dark still. Alright, I'm going to do 2 more drops on my hand and just remix it in because there's a fair bit of foundation all in that brush. That's better. So it's almost, I guess, 50-50 that I used. Alright, so applying it still feels the same to apply, but I think the finished result already is different. I don't know if it's because I put a higher ratio of this in, but I feel that it kind of sits on top of the skin more than what the foundation normally does. I feel that you can see like the brush marks that little bit more, and almost like there's this kind of white powdery finish to it. So I think I'll apply the other side just with a beauty blender to see if it makes a difference as opposed to the brush, because I think, you know, the beauty blender might give it a different finish, because I just feel like it's a little bit kind of streaky, like you need to go back over it and kind of pat it in. It does feel like it takes a little bit longer to dry as well as compared to normal, but we'll try the other side. So the Australis O2 Glow foundation, do 2 pumps. How many drops did I do? 5. 1, 2, 3. Start with 4 drops. Oh, that seems like so much. Hey, mix it with my beauty blender or knockoff beauty blender. Oh, might have gone too much. I don't know. Oh no, that's alright actually. Okay, so applying this with the sponge I feel is working a lot better. I do feel that it has kind of diluted this one down a little bit. This is quite a light coverage foundation anyway. It's quite like a, you know, a natural kind of finish one, which I guess the Born This Way is meant to be that way as well. But I just feel that this side doesn't seem as well covered as what this side does, like in terms of coverage, and I can only really say that it's just because of the foundation formula, or like high-end versus low-end in a way. I do feel that, yeah, definitely by using the sponge blender rather than the brush works better. I think it just allows it to almost push into the skin that little bit more and just give you more of a skin-like finish. The coverage kind of was compromised a little bit on this side. I'm going to zoom you guys right in and give you guys an even closer look at my skin, just so you guys can kind of get an idea of the texture of it. I don't know if you guys can really see, but to me it feels like it's kind of sitting on the skin a little bit more compared to this side. Shows your pores up. Just showing you guys in natural light what it looks like as well. Australis side, Too Faced side. And just to show you guys with a flash, I don't really feel it gives you a white cast or a flashback at all. It did give me quite a few kind of white marks, but it could have been just because of the ratio that I mixed it with. I did use quite a fair bit of it, but I did feel that it did give me this kind of white, powdery kind of feel to my foundation. Okay, so now we're going to try the darkening drops. My main concern, I guess, with this is that it's going to like alter the tone of your foundation. That's going to make it really orangey or like a lot warmer, especially if you are a cool toned kind of foundation person. So we'll see. So I've got some foundations that are lighter. Again, I've got another Australis O2 Glow foundation. I don't know what shade this is in. I think this is the lightest one that you can get. And then I've got an Arbonne foundation here. This is the shade Porcelain. So we'll do half and half again. This is the Australis one, and this is the Arbonne. Hey, oh, I'm gonna see if I can use this just on its own as well. It's like so dark. Wow. Okay, so that's just on its own. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go really light handed with this. So I'm just going to do 1 drop. 1 drop. This is the Arbonne. So definitely instantly, like, applying this, it doesn't have that kind of residue as what the white one did. Maybe because I just applied so much extra of the white, like it was almost 50-50, and maybe because of this one I've only just used 1 drop, so it could just be like a ratio difference. But I feel that it doesn't give that kind of like powdery residue as what the white one did. I'm going with the Australis. 2 pumps, 1 drop, and we'll use a brush for this one. Oh wow, look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that. I think this is going to be way too dark. Oh, maybe not. It just looked really almost grey-ish. I don't think I can see as much of a difference with the darkening ones and the lightening ones compared to a brush or sponge. I still feel that probably the sponge is a better way, or if you are going to use a brush, go over the top with the sponge and just kind of pat in any bits that haven't blended as well. I'm wondering as well if this will oxidize, if it will, you know, a few hours later my skin's going to look really orange. So I'm going to leave this foundation on for a while and then come back and see, you know, how it looks. Sponge side, brush side. Okay, so this is natural light. Hello? Oh, lovely, lovely. Okay, so it's been a good like 4 or 5 hours since I put the foundation on with the darker tint in it, and as you guys can see, I don't really think it's oxidized at all. It still pretty much looks exactly the same. The lasting is still pretty good considering, you know, I don't have a concealer on, I don't have powder or anything like that. It's literally just foundation. So yeah. So with the darkening product, I was pleasantly surprised to know that it did not oxidize. As I said, I only used a tiny little bit, so maybe if you had to add more of the darkening, it might oxidize more. But, you know, the little bit that I did apply, I didn't notice any oxidizing. I didn't really feel that it made my foundation super orange. It almost gave it this kind of coolness to the foundation. So I think they've almost gone the opposite way, where they didn't really want it to be orangey at all, so they've added this kind of cool pigment to it, so it did give it more this kind of grey undertone to the foundation in a way. Nothing drastic, as I said, like you know, you probably wouldn't have noticed, but I did feel myself that it did have this kind of cooler tone to the foundation. So yeah, that is pretty much my review of the Matchmaker Adjusting Drops. I hope you guys like it. Hopefully this has answered some of your questions. Hopefully you know, it's helped you guys decide whether you're going to purchase them or not. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Honestly, it would mean so much to me. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Help my channel grow, become a part of the Rainbow family. And yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!